Warning, may cause extreme student engagement.
Welcome to the Digital Dish.
Your go-to podcast for all things tech and education.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to Digital Dish.
Your go-to podcast. Ooh, there we go. I tripped over something. For all things instructional tech in your classrooms. We're
Yeah.
super excited. I'm Allie, birthday celebration fan, or your EdTech coach.
Ooh, can't wait to hear about that one.
Yep.
And I'm Grand Katie times 5 and director of EdTech at West Hill. You should tell me about, we'll get to that in a second. Tell me about your birthday celebration. What does that mean?
So in my family, there's 5 of us and then all of our significant others and stuff, but most of our birthdays are within 2 weeks. So we are mid birthday season, not just birthday, it's birthday season. So it starts off with my dad over winter break, and then me, and then my mom's brothers and uncles are all next week, and then my boyfriend's is a week after. So
wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
My aunt's family, they were all in January within a week.
Oh.
First, second, 7th, whatever. And then my brother's family, they're most of them are in July in the same amount of
Wow.
like, very close, like a week. It's crazy that happens like that.
It is crazy. So we are in the middle of celebrating birthdays.
Yay. My birthday is my favorite day of the year.
Nice.
It's the only day that is about me.
Mm-hmm.
As a mom,
Yeah.
you know, it's the only day I get. I like my birthday way better than Mother's Day because I don't have to share Mother's Day.
Fair. Yeah, and so this year for my birthday, I did karate, and then we did a pedicure, and even got my dad to do a pedicure, which was exciting.
That's awesome.
And then we went to Dave & Buster's and did like the arcade with my niece and all
Cool.
sorts of stuff. So it was a lot of
Sounds
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
Sorry
I appreciate
missed it.
No, it's okay. It was the weekend right before we came back from break, so
Okay.
we're all good.
Good.
So why don't you tell me about yours, Grand Katie?
Oh, yes, I'm Grand Katie. So my partner has older children who have since had grandbabies. So the kids, we've been together a long time, so the kids all know me as Grand Katie, Grandma. Weird being, 44 and being a grandma. But I fully embrace it. We do some baking and cupcake making,
Nice.
and we have the kids over occasionally. They're exhausting. They're young, like 3 and 4 and 5. But yeah, we just had another one.
Oh,
recently.
congratulations.
He's a little peanut. He was
Aw.
only like 6 pounds something.
It's a teeny tiny one.
Teeny baby. So cute. So we're excited. And then another one is due in April.
Wow, busy.
Yeah. Yep. It's very fun though.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
good.
Everyone's doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you ready to talk about
Yeah.
our episode today?
Yeah.
So we actually got a chance to sit down with one of the co-creators of EduProtocols.
Yes, we did. So we did record that separately due to time constraints. We're busy people.
Yes.
So episode 7, we recorded most of that on Tuesday with Jon.
So enjoy part of the conversation that we had with Jon is going to be on this one, and then we are going to release the rest in the future.
Yeah. Stay tuned. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, enjoy it.
Yes. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome.
Super excited to be back after break.
We are.
And we have a super special guest star.
I am very, very excited.
Yes. So Jon Corripo has decided to, or has graced us with his presence to be able to join us to talk about EduProtocols.
I know. This is awesome. And we're on episode 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
episode
that's
7.
fresh.
Yeah,
We're
pretty fresh.
7's are early.
Good to know we're on the right track, though.
Yeah.
very fresh.
Oh,
but
you guys are gigglers, and that's a good sign.
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
a good sign. Yeah.
So welcome to our
Thank
our
you.
very
So
new,
great
very
to
new.
be here in your Google Meet. It's very luxurious in here for people that can't see. I believe, is that a leather-bound couch in your background there, and a walnut
no.
shelf? It's beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, totally gorgeous.
I love what you've done with the laser effects as well. It's bold but subtle at the same time.
Got a disco ball.
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
that's what we
mhm.
do in here is dance when we're recording.
I like it.
So John is the author of EduProtocols, one of them with Marlena.
Mhm.
And we wanted to, chit chat with him. We're going to record talking to him for a
Mhm.
while, and then we will break that up into segments and release those at different times so that we can chunk it for you. You don't have to dedicate a whole chunk of time. You can pick it up and hear what we have to
Here we
say and
go.
all the
Yeah.
amazing questions that
Yes.
we've come up with.
Oh, feed me
All
right
right.
into the wood chipper. Let's go.
Perfect.
How did it all begin?
How did it all? Oh, you guys are just in the perfect vibe for this. It was a Friday night at about 5:45, and I was looking at 1,800 packets to grade, 1,800
Oh.
pages of packets, and I was like, okay, I love the kids, I love the vibe. Teaching is what I do. It's a third career for me. I knew the third day this was my jam, and I'm looking at these things, going, dude, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And I was Harry Wong poster boy.
Love that guy.
My kids would line up in alphabetical order to turn in their homework because it was faster for me to grade. They knew that if they were in line, they knew that if they didn't have their homework, they knew to stop by the telephone and report themselves to their parents for
Oh,
not having their
wow.
homework because
Oh.
I did not have time for that. And dude, I was a machine because I used to be a D1 football coach. So when you tell me system, I go. I'm half Swiss and half German, so I've got a very
Oh, boy.
There it
maybe
is. Yep.
OCD streak, maybe bordering on the spectrum a little. And what I realized one day was there was a girl named Megan, and she was blubbering at her desk. I mean, ugly crying. And I realized that I had created that trauma.
I have a similar memory realization.
And she had done her homework for 20 weeks in a row, and she screwed up one weekend and did not do it.
Oh,
And right there on the spot, it was like, Saul, if you're a Christian at all, I got zapped by the lightning bolt of reality. And I just said, I'm not going to start creating trauma. I hated that in school for myself, and now I'm reproducing that. So I looked at the 1,800 sheets of packets, and I said, God, there's got to be a better way to do this. And ended up turning into Edge protocols. And one of the first protocols was Fast and Curious. And I challenged myself to have a situation where we could do the 55 question Latin root semester final in such a way that there were no failing grades
and did
and and no, and no homework
All
and
right.
nothing to grade because everybody passed, right? And so that was the start of it all, was right there.
nice, nice. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah. So along that line, your first one was a Fast and Curious, but which one do you remember having the biggest impact on your classroom? The culture,
Oh yeah.
how it
So
ran.
probably 8 parts was like my first big breakout one. And here's a fun fact for all of you teachers that might be listening, saying, John's going to throw a bunch of stuff at us and I can't handle all this. It took me 3 or 4 years to get all this going. It took me 8 years to be good at it. So when Marlena and I went to write the book, the idea was that, in fact, here's a great little trivia thing too. Marlena pushed back on me. I was her boss. Um, I came in as the director of curriculum and she was the POSA. And she was like, what about this? What about that? Oh, yeah. What about that? And she was pushing really, and good questions, not bad questions. But she was challenging me to say, why do you think this is true? Why do you think that is true? And then through a series of events, she ended up going back to the classroom. And once she went back to the classroom, all of a sudden my ideas sounded really good. So
Ooh.
once she had that, and she had started vibing with it earlier, but once she was in the classroom, she was like, John, this really works. So, but the first big protocol that really changed, and when I really said this is something that could be a thing, was 8 parts. And so I'll just give you guys a quick blurb here. 8 parts, instead of doing one part of speech a week, which is the classic, right? This week's nouns, this week's verbs, this week's adverbs, this week's adjectives, lots of multiple choice, lots of fill in the blank. right? And then by week 6, I'm bored of it. So I never get to prepositions. So in Katie's class, the year after me, the kids are like, nobody taught us this. And you're like, I know Crippo did. And you're like, no, he didn't. But I got bored with the workbook. So I moved on. And you can go to nearly any grade level, including adults. And most people only can really pull up about 4 of the 8 parts of speech. But the reality is, if you don't know them all, you're not as good a writer because you don't ever think, oh, that's an antecedent. It's a little vague. That pronoun's a little vague there. I gotta rework this paragraph because the antecedent. Well, you don't have that verbiage, so you can't do the technique. Anyways, so we do in 8 parts. We do all 8 parts of speech every day. And then the reason it's called 8 parts, ARTS, is because I've set it up like an artist's palette. That's my art
Ooh.
background. And so here's your palette of words. We've got some nouns, some verbs, some prepositions, and it's all about a funny picture, like a cat sitting in a bucket of spaghetti, or, you know, one of my favorites is the penguin that's jumping and there's a killer whale getting ready to eat him. The kids are all traumatized. And so we use the image to spark our creativity. The image is the scaffold, right? So think of the penguin jumping, screaming, flying into the mouth, next to the seal, off of all this stuff, and we're scaffolding. And then we use all of that to create a paragraph using the parts of speech. And the first teacher thing that I hear is teachers like, oh, this is so cool. I'll do this at the end. I'm like, no, 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 this replaces everything else. There is no end anymore. It's just this every day. And I see people on social media say things like, oh, I did 8 parts last year. It was great. And so I'll text them. I go, how many times? I think twice. That's amazing. I'm like, no, you don't even know until the 5th or 6th one how good it can be. And so what I noticed happening was my kids started writing differently. They used to write like this. Imagine I gave you a picture of, like Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? In the old days, it would say, this is Rocket. He is cool. I like Rocket. He has weapons. Do you like my paragraph? In which I get my pen out and I write, no, I do not like your paragraph. Thank you for asking. And so now it looks like Rocket, the most lethal of the Guardians. He will project himself onto your planet and he will do a dastardly deadly deed, right? So it's a totally different voice from the kids. And then we're doing the same thing every day, so they get faster and better, and they get faster and better, and by the end they can do all 8 parts of speech with 3 words in each grouping and write a paragraph easily under 10 minutes, easily. And then here's my favorite part. What's the final? Pick your own picture, go.
I love it.
And the kids are bamboozled. They're like, what do you mean? I go, well, have you seen the internet? And they're like, yeah. Pick a picture you want to write about. I get to pick. Yes, you pick. And it's amazing. Basically, everybody passes. Everybody doesn't necessarily get a perfect score, but everybody passes. And that's a whole new territory, right? And then I just tell them we're going to keep doing this till everybody gets at least a 90%. I don't need them to get 100, but everybody's got to get a 90. And then this way, when they get to Katie's class next year, they've got so many reps in that they're like, hey, we're actually pretty good at this and we would like to show you our skills, which is, again, unknown territory for most kids to roll in on the new teacher and flex, which is very opposite. And then I want to split here because I did that for about 3 years. And then I went, you know what? I could do this with something else. Like I did that for 3 years and never thought that I could apply it to anything else. So then I said, how can I apply this to something else my kids are horrible at, which is writing different types of sentences, sentence variety. So I came up with sentence parts. So the schema is the same. Funny picture. In fact, I'll even use the same pictures. Write a declarative, write an interrogative, write an exclamatory, write whatever the 4th one is. I can never remember the 4th one. Write a semicolon, write a compound, write a complex, write an appositive. And they can do all this on the drop of a hat.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed the comment. Allie's laughing because We are recording this all like in pieces and
Let's just hit the mic.
to like make sure I know where the cut is between the intro and the outro. I hit the mic, slapped it. It's a trick. So when you see this spike in the audio, you know where to go. We can't cut this out.
No, we definitely can't. This is definitely going on.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, like we said in the beginning, we'll be releasing more interviews later. We'll cut up the segments and release them separately in the near future. So be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. And so there's a lot of really cool items coming up for PD, at least. I know Model Schools and BOCES specifically, we are all talking about PD for the summer.
Ooh,
so we're supposed to be releasing that probably next month or in April. We'll be releasing all the dates and ideas and stuff we have.
Can't wait to see what you're offering.
Absolutely.
And we have a professional development day on the 31st. So I'll be doing another rendition of Intro to AI in Education.
Ooh.
And then a couple of pair assessment sessions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which actually goes with what we're talking about next week.
Yes, next week we're going to be talking about Pear Deck.
Woohoo.
So Pear Deck and Pear Assessment are different.
Yes, they are.
Pear Deck is amazing, and we cannot wait to tell you all about it. If you've already been using it in your classroom, I'm hoping to share something that you may not already know.
Absolutely. Pear Deck is probably one of my favorite tools to use in the classroom.
Me too. All right, everybody, have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.